And we're back for another episode. In this episode, we're going to be continuing on with the 2.3 story mode, part 2, which launched today on the 8th of July 2014. And we are back in the Rising Stones with Menphelia. So, hello from Mithrie. And let's continue. So, in the previous part, it was revealed that the Omega weapon might be brought back to in existence. So, but now we are dealing with another threat, which is actually towards the Lord of Levin, which is also the name of the quest, and the Lord of Levin is Ramu. So it says, Menphelia wishes to discuss the latest threat to arise in the Black Shroud. Thank you for responding to my call with such haste. Rest assured I should not have summoned you were it not urgent. To business then. I have received some most disturbing news for the Order of the Twin Adder. They have reason to believe that the Sylphs may have called forth their revered guardian, the Primal Ramu. I'm sorry, may have. Then it is not certain. The Elder Seetzia inform us that the elements themselves murmur of the Lord of Levin's return to the forest. The Sylphlands, however, display no signs of undue commotion. Forgive me, Antecedent, but the fact need not contradict the element's testimony. Unlike his more bellicose compeers, Garuda and so on, Ramu is reputed to act only in the defense of his children. I imagine he would soon make his presence known if any were foolish enough to directly endanger the Sylphs or their territory. The abruptness of this development concerns me. Were we not keeping a close watch on the Touched Ones and their movements? If preparations for a summoning ritual were indeed underway, it would surely not have escaped your notice. Oh, it didn't. I was pretty sure it was going to happen, just not this soon. I beg your pardon. You foresaw this eventually, and you did naught to prevent it? I told Papalimo. I suppose I could have reported the findings to Menphelia earlier, but there were... honestly, wasn't much we could do except wait and see. You know the Sylphs feel about people poking around in their territory. They already summoned Ramu once right after the calamity, but that was because the Garleans came tramping through the forest. And as long as Castrum Orien stands, the Sylphs cannot be blamed for wishing to have their guardian deity on hand. In short, Ida and I are in agreement. The actions of the forest folk were inevitable and unavoidable. And I maintain this observation would have remained the best policy had it not been for the sudden influx of strangers into the Black Shroud. That, alas, we did not foresee. By all accounts, the recent violence in Uldar drove a number of refugees to seek safety under the concealing canopy of the trees. 'Tis like the Sylphs perceived this panicked migration as yet another invasion. They quickened their efforts to summon their god. I put in mind of Titan and the kobolds. Once again, it is the affairs of men which have paved the way for a primal's coming. Indeed, one cannot help but wonder what manner of place Eorzea would be without the civilization influence of mankind. Be that as it may, this regrettable development does afford a unique opportunity. Mithrie, though your dealings with the Sylphs of little solace, you succeeded in preventing an untimely conflict with Gridania. I wonder might the one who's treated with the Sylphs so fruitfully in the past not achieve similar success with their patron deity? If Ramu can be convinced of our intentions, it may be the first step towards breaking the cycle of primal summoning. A fond hope were such a thing possible. We would not have been at war with the Beastmen since time immemorial. But this time we can. Let us continue this discussion anon. We must needs first consult with the nation most affected by Ramu's presence. The Elder Seedseer has requested your personal involvement, Mithrie. Pray report to Commander Heliox at the Adder's Nest as soon as you are able. Steel yourself for the worst. While I hope for a peaceful resolution to this matter, experience suggests that your meetings with the Lord of Levin will prove less than amicable. In such an event, your fellow Scions will of course lend you whatever support you require. Okay, so now we need to go to the Adder's Nest. Home sweet home. Thankfully it's very close. So, Lieutenant Mithrie, your arrival has not been anticipated. The presence of a primal is ever cause for alarm and unease. Though my men stand ready for any eventuality, I know of none more qualified than you to snuff out this threat. Indeed, I would have you do so without delay. The Elder Seedseer, however, would speak to you first. She is of the opinion that your diplomatic rather than martial skills may better serve our cause. I leave further explanation to our learned leader. Pray make your way to Nafika's altar. The conjurer in attendance will admit you to the Lotus Stand. Okay, there's also the daily hunt system, which I need to check out as well. Hopefully a very short run. So here is a conjurer. So it says the other Scions have already arrived, madam. May I show you in? Yes. Well, it's been a while.
Scions of the Seventh Dawn, on behalf of the people of Gridania, I bid you welcome. Your presence is of great comfort to us all in these days of uncertainty. I summoned you here to share tidings of a most urgent nature. But a short while ago, the great elemental spoke, and his voice was clarion in its intensity. Ramu is returned unto the forest. Scarce had his words ceased to echo in mine ears when we were visited by an emissary from Little Solace. Our guest informs us that the Sylphs too have sensed the presence of the Lord of Levin. Though his exact whereabouts remain unknown, we may safely assume that the primal was summoned within the heart of the Sylphlands. Unlike the other primals you have encountered, Lord Ramu is no raging avatar of destruction. He is revered as much for his wisdom as his strength, serving as both arbiter and guardian to his children. Given that we and the Sylphs found a way to share the Twelve's Wood, it is my hope that this sagely immortal will be amenable to reason, and that conflict may be avoided. Blessed as you are with the power of the Echo, you are one of the few among us who may commune with a primal without fear of influence. I would ask, therefore, that you represent us in this most delicate of negotiations. The Twelves Wood has suffered enough. Upon this, we and the Sylphs, and I would venture Lord Ramu himself, are in perfect accord. Let us not endanger our shared home by engaging in unnecessary hostilities. Dear friend, I beseech you, safeguard the peace which exists between our peoples. You have my thanks.
The Sylphs are happy, that's good. Everyone's happy.
Pray make for little solace, then. A member of the Order of the Twin Adder awaits you there. He will advise you on how to find the Lord of Levin. An ill wind blows through the forest. Yet, it is not only the Twelves Wood that flinches at its coming. All the lands of Eorzea shiver in dread anticipation. Have care.
Okay, so we need to go to Little Solace and East Shroud. So I'm going to just teleport to Halfon Hut. So, I guess we'll see what Ramu has to say. So, Lieutenant Mithrie, I was told to expect you. I understand you go to treat with the primal Ramu himself, an inviolable task, but one that shall be made all the more difficult by the interference of the touched Sylphs. With the aid of the Scions and the inhabitants of Little Solace, the Order of the Twin Adder will enter the Sylphlands and do what can be done to clear your path. I shall brief you on the impending operation once you are satisfied with your preparations. Okay, so let's complete the quest. And the next quest is called a Sylphlands Sting. So it says, a serpent lieutenant is eager to explain the details of your foray into the Sylphlands. So, ready are you? Then allow me to explain the finer details of this foray into the Sylphlands. In order that you might treat with the Lord of Levin, we must first learn where the primal is to be found. Though we are certain Ramu was summoned somewhere within the territory of the Touched Sylphs, his precise whereabouts yet elude us, and aimlessly thrashing around in the undergrowth will only lead to unnecessary conflict. We are fortunate then to have the experience of the Science of the Seventh Dawn at our disposal. Mistress Yida and her companions will make use of their Charlean devices to measure recent aspheric activity. They assure me that the disturbances caused by the summoning of the primal shall prove a most obvious beacon. But we must not get ahead of ourselves. Your first objective will be to join up with your fellow Scions. Time being of the essence, they have already entered the Sylphlands. Fear not, however, they have a Twin Adder escort and their Sylph guide for help. This one needs help. The guide, what has become of our companions? These ones were ambushed at the border of Touched One's territory. Touched Ones tossed a stinging scale bomb, and arrow-shooting ones were left coughing and crying. What of the Scions? Arrow-shooting ones were in the lead and took the worst of the stinging. Other walking ones scattered this way and that to escape the same fate. Barely 2 steps into Sylphlands and we have already lost our charges, but it will profit us little to go running after them until we know what exactly we're facing. Let us tend to the scouts and assess the situation. This one has cleansing water for walking ones. Splash it over arrow shooting ones and rinse away the stinging scales from eyes and nose and mouth. My thanks, I will leave this task in Lieutenant Mithrie's capable hands. Tis hardly an auspicious beginning, but I ask that you adhere to the plan and rendezvous with your fellow Scions. If you can get the scouts back on their feet, they may be able to point you towards your companions. Oh, and be on your guard. If this operation is to succeed, we can ill afford any further mishaps. Coughing and crying ones are not far. This one will show you the way. Cool. So now we're going to need to go save the people who have been subdued, let's say. Now the thing about the sylphs is that when they say touched sylphs, they're the ones who have been taken control of by Ramuh, as in they act to Ramuh's will. Just like there was Amalja and kobolds and whatever who are controlled by their own primals. So, I like that the person running next to me is called Magical Potato. Okay, so let's now cure these people with the cleansing water. It says, clear spring water bottled at the source in Little Solace. So, oh, that's so much better. So, thank you, I still threw some manner of powder. Okay, once more. So, praise Nofika, I thought to claw my own eyes from my skull. Does that bastard sylph yet linger? I can barely see. Okay, so let's now see the hostile sylph. So another walking one. This one shall not falter. This one carries an entire sack of... this one's sack is scale bombs. It is gone. No matter, this one will fetch more, and then you walking one will suffer as well. So let's see what Maxio has to say. So, this one stole Touch One's sack, while Touch One's was gloating over coughing ones. But this one's clever trick will mean naught if Touch One's fetches more scale bombs. Walking one must act fast. This one will use another clever trick to help Walking one move unseen. Walking one must sneak up and Touch One before this one's trick wears off. Take the scale bomb and give the Touch Ones a taste of Touch One's own medicine. Is Walking one ready? This one is eager to make mischief for Touched One. Okay, so speak to Maxio once more. Look, Mr. Happy. So, hold still, Walking one. Soon there will be none there, just like the wind. Okay, so Maxio's magic will render you invisible. Find the touch sylph and surprise him with the stinging scale bomb before the enhancement fades. The invisibility spell will last for 25 seconds. If you run out of time before achieving the objective, return to Maximo and ask him to refresh the enchantment. While the invisibility spell is in effect, you can extend its duration by touching the sweet-smelling windflower found along the way. So it's just like the daily quests we used to do before. You can see the timer here counting down. And the advice is to just press them whenever you see them. Oh, apparently I need these these dream toads for my Animus book. I'll do that later. There's a hostile Sylph. Using the bomb. So, ow, this one's leaves smart and prickly. This one was being so careful with the scales. Okay, so let's report now to Maxio. So many legacy members here. Anyway, so did Walking One give Touch One a stinging surprise? Touch One will not bother these ones for a time, this one thinks. And Coughing One and Crying One seems much better. Perhaps Arrow Shooting Ones are ready to talk with Walking One now. Okay. I can finally see again. Your aid was most appreciated. You are Lieutenant Menethil, yes? Then you will doubtless be eager to know what became of your fellows. Okay, let's take some grade 5s. So the next quest is called Scattered Scions. So it says a teary-eyed private appears ready to explain the fate of your fellow Scions. As you are aware, our party fell victim to an ambush. We scouts immediately moved forward to engage the enemy and bid the Scions take cover. Then, before we knew what was happening, the air was filled with that stinging, choking dust. The last thing I saw before my vision clouded was Master Papalimo stumbling northeast towards the gold-leafed dais. I know not what befell the others. The Touch Sylphs are certainly alerted to our presence in their territory, and I urge you to locate your companions quickly. Maxio, our guide, will be the greatest help to you in that endeavour. Meanwhile, my fellow scouts and I will seek to draw the attention of the potential ambushes away from you. The nasty tricks will find us such easy prey a second time. Okay, so we're looking now for Papalimo right here. So I'm really interested to see what else they bring into the story mode. No, slow, heavy, why? Wasting time, no. One second. Yay, gone, woo. Okay, so here's Papalimo. So it says, enough of this, my feet ache, my back hurts, and I wish to leave these sylphs in peace. Aspheric greetings, why don't you let this fellow take your measure? Okay, speak to Papalimo again. So, why do you persist? There is no need to take measurements. I can tell you with certain that Lord Ramu is nowhere to be found. Okay, let's talk to Maxio. So, is something bothering you, Walking One? Wise ones are not acting as wise ones should. This one is not sure how wise ones should behave, but this one suspects sneaky ones seek to deceive Walking One with skin-changing tricks. Walking One must take these trick-bearing scale bombs and throw them at skin-changing sneaky ones. Although this one does not suggest throwing anything unless Walking One is sure wise ones are not truly wise ones. Okay, so let's see. So Papalimo and Yida. So no, I will not walk another step. Let us cease this spoilment of the forest and return home. Okay, so let's throw scale bomb. Yeah, it's not like either and Papademo to be scared of anything. Here's Papademo. So, why are we still here? I tire and I wish to depart immediately. My companion feels the same way. So let's use this bomb. Okay, stop to Maxio. So, wise ones were sneaky ones in disguise after all. So this one led walking one into sneaky one's trap. Forgive this one. This one will search some more. So must walking one. Does walking one still have trick-bearing scale bombs? This one fears more sneaky ones and may be lurking nearby. Okay, so continue searching for the Scions, so we need to go up here. That's the thing, because there is a few of the Sylph daily quests which involves discovering, you know, which of the Sylphs are in disguise. So I hope I don't get heavied along the way again. So I'm assuming, as before, when it came to Leviathan, that you'll have to do hard mode first as part of the story mode, finish the story mode, and then you'll be able to unlock the extreme mode. And I think it's the extreme mode that my FC is focused on getting cleared ASAP. Because we want to see what new items he drops, what the fight is like, stuff like that. So there is definitely a lot more new stuff to explore with this patch, definitely. This is only the story. There's like Hildebrand quests, there's hunts, there's front lines, there's so many other features. And I will be making a full read through of the patch notes later today as well. So Mithrie, it's you. I was worried you wouldn't find us. Seeing as you have, though, do you think you could give me a hand? Thancred's being a bit difficult. I keep telling him we should be taking readings, but he refuses to move. Okay. So, oh woe is me, I cannot go on. It's far too dangerous. What if something were to happen? My beautiful face. Okay. They're just trying to get everyone to give up and leave, rather than to pursue. So okay, I really don't know what Thancred's so worried about. His face isn't that beautiful. Okay. Oh, what did you do that for? Okay, so that's apparently the real Yida. So Thancred turned into a Sylph? No, wait, you're telling me that that was a Sylph all along? I can't believe I fell for that. I'd heard about the shape-shifting trick, but that sprite was just so convincing. I wonder where the real Thancred has disappeared to. Okay. So the next quest is called True to Form. Yida is eager to rejoin the other Scions. So, I may not know where Thancred is, but I've got a pretty good idea where Papademo and Y'shtola will be. They were with me just now. Y'shtola suggested we split up to cover more ground, and took Papademo with her. Oh no, do you think one of them might have been a Sylph in disguise as well? We should probably be after them just in case. Come on, they were headed somewhere to the south. We're just slowly getting closer and closer to the Ramuh Sylph crystal, aephorite crystal. So, I'll check my tells after this video. Here's Papalimo. So, Fang the 12, you found us at last. Wait, I see Ida, but where is... more imposters? Do not attempt to deceive me, Sylph. I see you for what you are. But if by some faint chance you truly are my good friend Mithrie, mayhap you would consult Maxio over there. If Maxio he truly is. On the subject of how to dispel these infernal Sylvian enhancements. Yeah, they're getting all paranoid because they don't know who's real and who isn't. This one suggests hitting 3 wise ones with 1 stone. If wise ones suspect walking one is actually skin changing one, walking one is not likely to get a second opportunity to throw a scale bomb in wise one's presence. So walking one must aim carefully so all wise ones are caught in the same scale bomb boom. Oh, I see, because there's so many Y'shtolers. Or between a rock and a hard place. Ack, why did I have to be 2 Y'shtolers? I should have been perfectly happy to give you a number of Yidas. An experimental smack. Okay, so we're going to use it on all 3 of them. So, was that necessary? Look, that one's a Sylph. This one's trick has failed, but walking ones have not yet won. This one will not allow walking ones to pass. Come any closer and this one's friend will be angry. So little rascal means to stand his ground, does he? How very courageous. Would you do the honours, Mithrie? Greetings, I see that you've all found each other. 'Twould seem my overzealous in my attempts to evade our civilian ambushers. I was a mile away by the time I realized I was alone. Is aught amiss? Do I have something on my face? Reasonably convincing, but one cannot be too careful. Remind me, Thancred, what was the reason for our little excursion into the Sylphlands? Did you take a humble and bump your head, old friend? We're here to locate the site of the summoning so that Mithrie might parley with Lord Ramuh. Too easy, huh? Why don't you tell us what you think of Fi Hamin? Truly, you would have me speak of the songstress of Ulda? As you will, she is an exquisite rose that withers not with the passing of years. Charming as ever, I dare say you are perpetually beset upon all sides by swooning beauties. Please, Y'shtola, do not seek to make them swoon. Poetry rises unbidden to my lips. When I behold a maiden's fair countenance, 'tis the curse of my minstrel blood. So enough. If this is not the real Thancred, then I believe we have found a suitable replacement. Indeed. Well, that seems like quite enough entertainment for one day. 'Tis past time we returned to the task at hand. Mithrie, would you mind approaching our touch friend? If I'm not very much mistaken, his decision to stand his ground stems from something more than mere bravery. Maybe Ramuh will appear now. get this off my back. Taking a while to kill. Okay, there's a hostile Sylph. So, walking one is too strong. This one surrenders. This one is sorry for playing tricks on wise ones. But great and powerful one, Lord Ramu, is not here, so there's no need for wise ones to go any further. No need at all. Wise ones definitely must not go any further. This one would not want wise ones to get lost. Okay, let's talk to Papalymo. Try not to aggro half the zone at the same time. So, we overheard your exchange with the Tormentor. His clumsy attempt to deceit would almost be endearing if time were not of the essence. Happily, I managed to take a reading of the surrounding area while you had his attention. As I suspected, the site of Lord Levin's summoning is very close indeed. Cool. Let's continue. So the next quest is called Levin in Impression. Get it? Papalymo believes he has determined the site upon which the primal Ramu was summoned. So my measurements indicate a large ethereal disturbance to the southeast. Thanks to the antics of the Sylph, we've been dragged to every corner of the Sylphlands, but none of the various readings returned a result of this magnitude. There can only be one conclusion. Ramu was called forth in the vicinity of the Sylph's Aephorite. I suggest we proceed thither with all possible haste, after bidding Maxio here a fond farewell, of course. Should our trusty guide come too close to his deity, there is the distinct possibility that he will fall under the primal's influence. Come, Mithrie, the Lord of Levin awaits. Okay, so let's go to the Aephorite.
Nora betrays thee, servant of hiding. Thou art the bringer of light, bane of Ifrit, Titan, Garuda, and Leviathan. I am Ramu, guardian of the children of the forest. Thou tramplest upon sacred soil, bringer of light. By what right doth man intrude in this sanctuary of the Sylphs? The Redanians proffer peace? Their words are born of delusion, thine offer an insult. Thou speakest of harmony, yet carest naught for my children's desires. They did but wish to dwell beneath these boughs in solitude. Yet even that was too much to ask of man. Thus did they turn to me for succor. The sentence I pronounce upon thy kind is just. Redanian or Garlean, it matters not. The good intent of one excuseth not the misdeeds of the other. Thy conflict hath brought naught but anguish and misery unto the forest. All blame doth lie with the darkness that resideth in the breast of man. Whence sprung this calamitous seed? In the beginning no such duality existed, nor light and dark given form when man was born. It would explain much, not least why strife and sorrow follow ever in thy wake. Thou canst not deny the urgings of thine own nature. Knowing that thy mere presence here portendeth tragedy, wilt thou persist in this pretense of peacemaking? Thou bearest the crystal which I bestowed upon my wayward charges. That they should entrust so precious a gift to thee. Thou standest apart from thy kin. Thou art the bringer of light, aye. But there is something more in thee. Very well. I shall consider thy proposal. Shouldst thou survive my trial. If thou wouldst champion the cause of harmony, I must have proof that thou art fit to play the role. Wither mine ire, and prove to me thereby that thou hast strength enough to stay the darkness which threateneth to consume thee. Yet if thou shouldst be found wanting, know that all men shall perish in the storm of my judgment.
Interesting.
Come to me, bringer of light. I shall await thee on the field of battle.
Eorzea, it is rare indeed to find you so far from a tome.
The Lord of Levin himself. Never till this day had I looked upon his visage, save in painted renderings made faint by time. Ever shall this scene remain etched in my mind's eye. Beg pardon, my lady. I must beg thine aid on a point of research. If thou art resolved to face Lord Ramuh, I would ask thy leave to observe the event.
Cool. So that now means that Ramuh hard mode is now available, and I'll have to do that before carrying on the story. So that'll be the next episode. So anyway, that was it for this episode. Thank you for watching, and as always, goodbye from me, and goodbye from Mithrie.